Hi, it's Colette. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. This is a coffee and chat video. Again, not so much a spiritual thing, although there can be wee bits in it. It's mainly about my life and the channel and, just a chat really. It gives me the chance to chat with you. So, what's been happening with you? This is a busy time coming up, and you'll see by the weekly tarot card, which is actually for the fortnight over Christmas, that we've got a wee bit warning about stress. And although there's been some really good things happening over the last few weeks for me, lots of kindness shown by people and the universe, which is lovely. I'm so thankful for that. It's also been a time where I've realised that stress, whether good or bad, will floor me with my autoimmune disease. So although there's been good things happening, I've still needed to rest a lot and maybe not achieved the things that I necessarily wanted to. I wanted to do a lot more posting in December, a lot more videos, and I'd promised to do a solstice rituals video, but I've not had time, I've not had the energy to do that. So I promise you that I'll get that done for next year. This hopefully should go up on the 21st at the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere and the summer solstice in the southern hemisphere. So cheers to you all that are celebrating solstice and Yule in the northern hemisphere. It's a time of renewal, it's a time of rebirth, it's a time where after the solstice the nights get shorter and the days get longer, and that will be lovely, lovely. But there's this time between maybe the solstice and maybe March, first beginning of March, where we can see we're getting there, but it's still very cold, there's a lot of bad weather. And that's a time where I follow the going within. The going within is going within your own home, going within your own mind, your own family, and actually relaxing and thinking. The winter is not a time to maybe launch new things. That can all come in the spring, but it's a time when we should be just looking after ourselves so that we can, get through the cold weather. If you go back to more tribal days, people just couried in. They had enough food put by, hopefully, for this time. And yes, it's solstice, etc., and all the festivals of light that are going on all over the world, whether that be the sort of festivals of light or festivals of God being born. There's so much going on. Hanukkah, there's festivals of light everywhere. There's the sense of Christmas and there's solstice, but everywhere you look, where we're in midwinter, there's something to help us, whether that's a religious festival or a new beginning, hope, or celebrations. So once we've done with that, it's time to kind of hunker down. I like to think, I like to meditate in that time, but I like to think a lot. I like to think, I've come the 8th of January, I'll be back starting to write the new book. And before you can even write something, you've got to think about it a lot. It just doesn't go bing. You've got to think about it, have notebooks there. And so I actually find January and February quite a productive time for thinking of the order that the book will go in, thinking of what I want in it, what I don't want in it, making a kind of plan and starting to write. But I know that sometimes the energy won't be there, but the framework will, and I'll know what I want to do. And if it's just little bits when I can, then that's fine. And as we go towards March, April, I tend to feel the energy coming back again, and I tend to get more work done in that phase. So I think you'll like what I'm planning for the new book. It's a spiritual book, it's not fiction, although I do think I will go back to fiction after this one because I've got a few ideas. But writing my memoirs, there was so much that I left out of ritual, of festivals, of things that I've done in a spiritual way that you couldn't go into great detail in a memoir. So the next book is probably life again, but life in magical ritual, life in wisdom teachings, life probably more so for women, women's culture, women's rituals, women's cycles. I'm really looking forward to it. I think I've got about 7,000 words written of it somewhere already. It's one of these things that I've been adding to little bit by little bit, but knowing that there would be a time that I could bring it out and actually work properly on it. So I'm looking forward to that, but that's not till we're over this madness period of celebration and seeing people and enjoying company, and then it's time to dig in and it's time to go within and it's time to go with the flow, I suppose, not too much pushing and shoving. That's why I can never understand this time of year when we're meant to be going within, that there's all these mad sales that people will trudge about and bash one another and stand in queues, and that's not what you're meant to be doing at this time of year. And you know, if you were leaving it to nature, you wouldn't be doing that at all. This is all sort of big business that's got us to think, oh, we must go and buy lots in the sales. Well, you don't. I mean, I won't be. I have no intention, well, I couldn't stand in a queue or bash around, but if I even had the health to do that, I would not be doing it, because that's so against what we need at this time of year. So bear that in mind, you know. Sometimes we can spend money that we don't need to, and it's just because we've been programmed by all the adverts on the telly and this, that, next thing. Yeah, get 50% off something, but if it's something you don't really need, then you've actually still paid out money for something you don't need. So, you know, if something needs replaced and you think, right, okay, my freezer's going to go, or I need a new bed, and that's okay, but this mad rush to see how many bargains you can get is so counterproductive, not just to yourself but to the kind of ecosystems and to the sense of throwaway culture. It just doesn't seem right to me, to be honest. But there you go. So possibly a new book out after the summer, depending how I get on. And I'm going to be starting to live stream. Still haven't learned how to edit. I've just, as I say, I've so many things I wanted to do, but health and energy get in the way. Not just for myself, but for my husband in the last year. He's not been incredibly well either. And I'm quite happy, you know, just to go at the pace. It's just when you say, right, I wouldn't mind doing that and I'm going to do that by Christmas, and then Christmas comes and you've not even looked at it. But that, it is what it is, isn't it? We sometimes have to think, well, I want to do that, but... So anyway, the channel, Colette Clairvoyant, very, very happy. Want to thank you all so much. We're over 1,100 subscribers now. I think there's nearly 300 videos up. And more to come. As I say, I'd love to get a wee bit of live streaming done, because what I started off was sort of using this to teach and pass on knowledge, and then it became a kind of interaction, and I started really enjoying it because it gave me an outlet, you know, after, you know, when I stopped the readings and not interacting with people so much, but when people are talking to you in the comments and you get to say, oh no, try that, or and also people saying, oh, I did that video and I felt that. The Healing Hands video is over 25,000 views, which is stunning, and it still chugs along and it pulls people into the channel. So I'm so grateful for that one video that seems to have connected me particularly to the USA and India. So hi USA, hi India. Oh, that's been amazing. So I'm delighted with the channel, and I'm so wanting to take it further, despite the ads apocalypse where nobody's getting paid anything for AdSense. I didn't make that much money anyway. I know that at times I will say, I've got a wee PayPal button if you want to support the channel. Please do, because it'll all help me get a new camera and stuff, and that will be good. But that's for some time in the future. And with the live stream, now that I'm over 1,000, I can do a thing called Super Chat, where if I'm on live and someone maybe wants to donate a wee bit while asking a question, they can do. And that, I think, will be quite good, because it means if I'll be doing it anyway, but it means that if you do want to donate to the channel, that's another way of doing it. As I say, every little bit helps. I'm not talking about much here. If it's $1, $2, £1, I'm happy with that, because it all adds up. As I say, you know that I got my mic with the first £62 that came after 2 years. Hey, it may take another 2 years to get another £62, but who knows? And this channel is not just it's not just something I care about intensely for the people that are part of it now. It's actually a lifeline for me, and that sounds an odd thing to say, but to have this way to connect with people, to have this way to have this technology to have a laugh with people, it's fantastic. I don't know what to say about it. I got all teary, sorry, but it's wonderful. It's like if you wanted to go out and attend a place and meet your pals or whatever and have a big night conversation. I used to do venues that maybe had 500-600 people in them, and I never thought I would get to do that again. But with this, I am. Because I do a video, and okay, I'm doing it into this wee camera and whatever, but I'm talking to you and you and you, and a lot of the people I know there's bits they'll laugh at, and I know the bits they'll say, oh, you're looking a wee bit drawn, or oh my goodness, love your makeup, or whatever. It became an interaction for me. It became a way of still being Colette Clairvoyant despite this illness, and it's lovely. So I'm so, I'm saying to White Storm there, I'm so grateful for this technology, because it's passing on the knowledge that I've accrued in all of my life, and excuse me, it's also making me feel that even with the illness, I've not lost myself. And that's been very important. Excuse me. So, yes, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Instead of doing a 500-seater venue, as I did in my younger clairvoyant days, now I can do a video that reaches 25,000 people. And to me, that's wonderful. And what I was trying to say is it's not just about doing that. The comments are fantastic. People just talk and they tell me about themselves, or they tell me about their experiences being the same as mine, or can I help them with this, can I help them with that, and can I do a video on this, can I do a video on that, and oh my God, I get to interact and communicate. And with hearing loss, that's really important. Your world can become smaller, you can become more isolated, but with this YouTube channel I don't feel isolated as much, and I don't feel that I've lost my pals or old clients that I was very fond of. They're still there. Hi everybody, sorry for the tears, but that's just me. So I'm very, very thankful, and I hope that I have the energy to plonk myself in front of this wee camera and keep doing it, and even interact even more by live stream. That would be wonderful. My book, Memoirs of a Clairvoyant, is doing fine. It's kind of stalled a bit in the lead up to Christmas, but that always happens with books that, I know it sounds crazy, but are of a spiritual nature but don't have a big, huge publishing house behind them. They get kind of lost in amongst the books that can be promoted in magazines and that have already been sent out to, to magazines to review way back in May and stuff like that. So that tends to happen anyway, so I'm not unhappy about that. But if you get some money or even some Amazon vouchers or whatever, you know that all my books are, I'll put a link to them down below. It'll take you to the Amazon page, but most of them are available in other marketplaces too. Yeah, I'm really chuffed with the way that Memoirs of a Clairvoyant has gone, and it's not the end for it in any way. It will start picking back up again when the big books that we can't compete against, we really can't, when they die down a wee bit, I expect another wee push up the way, and then a book like that just tends to trickle along after that, and occasionally if someone reviews it that's important, that maybe has a channel or whatever, it can kick up. Just have to take it as it goes, but I'm pleased with it so far, I really am. I'm also pleased with the sales of Tarot Novice to Pro. It's doing fine as well, and my Menopause book, great, absolutely chuffed that these books after 5 and 6 years are still going and still being looked at by people and still going into the top 100 or of their sort of category every so often, not all the time, but every so often they will kick in, and it's nice, it's really nice. So I'm happy with the books. As I say, hubby's got a few things to get done early in the new year with his health, but hopefully they'll help. And my girls are great. Adore watching these two young women forge forward in their lives. They're magnificent girls, and they inspire me day by day for different reasons, but they inspire me, they definitely do. And I think it's funny that you should maybe be inspired by your parents or older people, and yes, I have been, but both these girls of mine, I look at the way that they do things, I look at the way that they're in the world and they're helping people and they're giving their energy where they need to, and I'm very inspired by them. So hiya you two, if you're watching. If you're not too busy, one of you. So yeah, what else? Just it's been an interesting year. There's been a lot health-wise that has been problematic, and a lot of hospital visits since January, February this year. It's been on the go constantly with various appointments. Hopefully in the new year they'll calm down a wee bit and we know what's up and we know what to do about it, and hopefully that will be fine and we'll take it from there. But I'd like to again say a big thank you to all of you that are supporting the channel, all of you who are commenting and liking and sharing the videos. These things all help. Do you know that if you tick like or comment, that the wee YouTube algorithm bot sees that interaction, and the more of that you get, the more it suggests it on people's that would like that sort of thing in their feed. Now think of that. You just think, oh, I say please like the video or please comment. Yeah, I'm looking for likes and comments, but the upside of that is that wee algorithm goes, oh, people are actually interacting with her. Let's give her a wee bit suggested video here, there and everywhere. So don't think that, commenting and even just ticking the like button is is nothing. It's fantastic for me to see it, but it also helps the wisdom and knowledge of this channel be shared elsewhere. So please keep doing it, and I look forward to more interaction with you all. And please let me know if there's things that I've not covered yet that you want me to do. I do have a wee list, but sometimes I have to think, right, what's the one that I can do today? And I may have plans, but if it's not a great energy week or something like that, or I'm sore, I might say, right, I'll talk about that because that's short and sweet, and I can do that, and it won't take long to upload, etc. But I do have a list, and I am working my way through them, and it's up to you to add the depths to that. What more do you want? Do you want more mediumship videos? Do you want more how-to videos? Do you want more rituals? Do you want more about crystals? Do you want more about psychic development? Do you like the psychic development exercises? Because I do plan to do more of those. Excuse me. Do you like the chats? Particularly not necessarily the ones that I cry on. All these things, let me know, and I will be happy to see what I can do for you. I can't believe the comments and the people that are interacting. The channel is almost a third male. Now, when I was a clairvoyant, I was quite unusual in that nearly 50% of my clients were male. Slightly less than that, but I've always been quite down to earth and earthy and kind of says it as it is, and I have no time for nonsense. Those of you that have studied under me will know that. So there's always been a sense of kind of men sometimes they sometimes don't go to clairvoyance as much or connect with channels like this as much. There's certain extra barriers for them to go over. Okay, if we say that with the sort of masculinity thing and talking about their feelings, or coming out themselves a wee bit, talking about spirituality, there's still some barriers there for men that aren't really there for females. I've always been really chuffed to have a high percentage of males when I was reading. And now that's sort of transferring into the channel as well, which is absolutely lovely. So all you men that are out there, hello, and keep recommending me. And for all the women that started it off, etc., thank you as well. So the channel, the home, me, Jim, the girls, Nelly, Benji, yeah, what can I say? It's been a mad year. It's been a year of ultimate lows and massive highs. My daughter's marriage in July was a day that will stay with me forever in happiness, and there's been quite a few real positive things, and there's been so many health issues around Jim and I that, oh my God. But you get that, don't you? And at least we've had quite a lot of positive to kind of balance it out, which is lovely. So keep in touch, keep asking me things, keep communicating with me. It's important to me. I don't define myself by who I am or what my job was as such. But when you have spent the last 30 years of your life being known as Colette Clairvoyant, and she's good at readings, or try and see her, or stepping back from that, it's been hard at times, even though I'm the one person that says don't define yourself by your job. But being able to still be who I am, because that's who I am, and that's a major part of my life and my personality. To be able to continue that on social media, particularly YouTube, is a joy. And I thank you all for being around me and still allowing me to be part of your lives and part of some of your guidance systems, which is a lovely thing to be. And thanks for all the lovely comments. So have a very happy solstice, a very Merry Christmas, and a very peaceful New Year. And let's have a brilliant 2018. Many blessings, and I love you all. And you give me something that is beautiful and also very helpful. So thank you. Bye now.